To all the teachers out there who are thinking of giving up, to all the teachers who have lost their confidence, to the teachers who have been disrespected by students, treated badly by parents, and not given the care and support they need to by colleagues and leadership. I'm with you, I understand you, and I want to help you. It is a great tragedy that teachers are leaving the profession in droves. And we're not talking about weak teachers either. We're talking about teachers with great potential, potential that just needs to be harnessed and understood and worked alongside. Teachers who are being left to waste because of schools who are not investing in them properly. Teachers who have been told to just get with the program, toughen up and adjust. It's really not good enough, and it needs to stop. We need to ensure that the very teachers that signed up to be part of the profession are given every chance to thrive in their role. Just like we want every student to thrive at school, we should be investing the same care and attention to teachers. And this is the great irony of it all. We spend so much of our time telling teachers that they need to differentiate, that they need to understand every student at their own level and harness the skills that the student brings to the classroom. Yet we don't see that very same principle extended to teachers. Teachers are not encouraged to teach at their own style. Teachers are not given the same latitude that students are. And the extremely sad thing is that there are many teachers out there today with great potential and great skill and just the best of intentions who are just squandered, left to their own devices, left to work it out themselves. They cannot go to leadership and expect a fair audience. If they go to leadership, they risk further reputational damage. They risk being told to toughen up. If only your classes were more engaging. If only you did more of this and less of this. It's the last thing teachers want to hear when they're struggling, when they leave the school grounds at the end of a day, bereft of confidence. It's the last thing they need to hear. I see it all the time. I see them in a professional development, sitting there as the lecturer tells them what they should be doing right and what they're doing wrong. And I see that look in their eye of, I know that you just talk a good talk, that your strategies might work on a Monday and a Tuesday, but by the end of the week, your strategies come to nil. And I know that you would struggle in my classroom, dealing with my students, dealing with my parents, dealing with my school culture. You would struggle so badly. And here you are telling me that your strategies are tried and true. Well, I'll try them, and guess what? They won't be true. In my 25 years in education, I have dedicated myself to helping teachers who are struggling, help them restore their confidence and find their own strength. As a classroom teacher, I often had an arrangement with teachers who were struggling the previous year, who were coming with a lot of baggage, and I would teach with them. I would be with them for the entire year, show them how they can enhance their skills, show them how to set up a classroom, how to manage the difficult times, how to deal with really tough parents, how not to harp on every small thing. Because the truth of the matter is, there are many teachers out there who have lost all hope that things can turn around, and they're leaving, and they shouldn't necessarily be leaving. Yes, some teachers should leave, and it's a very brave decision, very courageous decision to leave the profession. But some just need a little bit of support, just a little bit, encouragement. Because it's not true that every teacher that leaves their profession leaves it because they should leave it. Some leave it because they have no choice. It's beating them down. The job, the career path that they had such high hopes in is turning them into a mess. Their anxiety is sky high. Their confidence is low. and they have nowhere else to go but out. Nobody tracks these teachers to find out if they're happier in their new life. Let me tell you a story about one of many teachers I dealt with during my time as a school leader. This was a week after I employed him. He came into my office looking beaten, and he sat down and he said, "I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. I've got no confidence. I'm a shell of the person I once was. I don't know how to do the basics anymore." This was an experienced teacher who had achieved great things in previous schools, who I believed in, and that's why I brought him into our school. And there he was, a week into his tenure, ready not just to give up on our school, but to give up on the profession. He says, "I've even forgotten how to teach skills I've been teaching for years. I have lost so much confidence that the very skill set that I've always had is now lost on me. I can't control the class. I have no confidence and they are picking up on it and I don't know what to do." Now, this teacher deserves a lot of credit. To come to my office a week after we have invested in him and sit down at my desk and tell me he's got no confidence and he's not even good at doing the basics anymore takes a lot of courage. But he probably expected me to say what a lot of leadership members tend to say, which is, "Come on, grow up. You talked a good talk in the interview. Back it up now. Take the weekend, refuel, toughen up, and get going." That's not what I said. I listened. I didn't interrupt. He spoke about his previous school and how he got into a disagreement with a colleague. He spoke about how it changed everything for him. It made him second guess himself because this colleague would always be critical and publicly critical. And he talked about how he'd lacked support in his previous school. And he's coming into this new school not with hope, but with a sense of resignation that nothing will change. And instead of telling him, "Oh, well, everything will be fine. We're not the old school. You'll be fine. You'll get all the help you'll need here. Everyone's nice here. No one will be critical." I didn't say that. And I certainly didn't say toughen up. What I said was, "I completely understand what you're going through. That would have been a really difficult situation, and I don't know how I would have navigated it, and it certainly would have hurt my confidence. What I want you to do is I want you to write 2 lists over the weekend. In the first list, I want you to discuss all the things that you once had that you feel like you've lost. And on the second list, what I want you to do is write all the things that you need from us to feel supported and feel like this school offers you so much more than your previous school ever did." Monday came. He visited me first thing in the morning and he went over his list. He talked about all the skills he believes he has that he's just lost, and we agreed to work through them one by one, with a first priority of getting his mojo back and helping him realize the very skills he once had. And then, and only then, start to chip away at some of the things that he, like all of us, needs to develop, a side to them that doesn't come so easily. And then we went through the second list. And one by one, we developed strategies for how our school could better support him in a way that he's never been supported before, and it's certainly a way his previous school never supported him. And guess what? Within 2 years, he not only became one of our best teachers, but he became a leading teacher, a teacher that now takes other wounded teachers and helps restore their confidence and helps them find their best selves. So today, if you'll excuse me, I'm not going to be talking about strategies. I'm not going to give you 5 strategies for turning it all around. I'm sorry if that's what you're after, but that's not what I'm going to do today. Today, I'm just going to tell you that you're not alone, and that whilst I realize it's very vulnerable to go into a leadership office and say, I've lost all confidence, we know that there are many of you out there who have. And we know that you're important to our profession, and we know that when we turn you around, you'll become a great asset, not only to our schools, but your students and future teachers down the line, because you'll have experience to share with them. And I also want you to know that you're not the problem. The reason why you're in this situation is not because you don't have the skills. It's not because you don't have the personality. It's not because you're not tough enough. My channel is really about giving you the skills that you need to find your confidence and to get going again. Because, and I can't stress this enough, teachers don't fall into teaching. They don't just choose to be a teacher because there's no other professions on offer. And they don't do it blindly. They know students will be tough. They know that it's a pressurized situation. They know the pay isn't fantastic. And they still do it. Why? Because they want to make a difference. And whilst making a difference is not easy, because you have to contend with all those other factors I just mentioned, when it happens, it's the greatest experience ever. It lights up their lives, and because of that, it lights up yours as well. So my message to all teachers thinking about leaving, or all teachers who are stuck in the melee of having no confidence, just trying to get through the day, my message to you is hang in there, be a part of this community so that you realize you're not alone. Feel free to write in the comments what is bothering you. What are some of the skills that you feel like you have lost because of the factors around you? And how can your school best support you? My name is Michael, and I'll see you very soon.